Welcome to Surviving the Side Hustle, the podcast for high performers who've gone all in, but still feeling a little stuck. I'm your host, Rob Tracy, coach, speaker, and creator of the Prime Performance Process. If you're a solopreneur, small business owner, or just launched your side hustle and you're tired of grinding with no momentum, this is for you. Every week, we bring you guests that have broke the code, generated momentum, and finally got unstuck. And we're diving into their stories, their struggles, and their secrets to generating massive momentum in both their personal and professional lives. We don't do fluff here. We do frameworks, real talk, and share the kind of insights that get you unstuck for good. Welcome, and let's get rolling. But before we dive in, I gotta remind you, if you're overwhelmed, spinning your wheels, or just tired of hustling without the results, it's time for a Prime Performance Strategy session. In this free call, we'll zoom out on your life and business, identify the real reason you're feeling stuck, and build a game plan to help you reclaim your confidence, energy, and gain some clarity so you can get back to doing what you set out to do. Lead, grow, and thrive. This isn't surface level coaching. It's a system built on resilience, intentionality, clarity, and alignment. So head over to survivingthesidehustle.com/free call to grab your spot today. Again, that's survivingthesidehustle.com/free call. Let's get going and help you look good, feel good, and do great things. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to a Friday recap episode. And for this week's question I've got for you is, what if the difference between staying stuck and reaching your next level wasn't more talent, but learning how to trust yourself enough to move without hesitation? That was the biggest takeaway I had from my conversation with Gary Chupik, a mental performance coach with nearly 30 years of leadership and coaching experience. Gary's path is fascinating. He was telling me how he spent decades as a reluctant leader, stepping into roles that he didn't chase but grew into because others saw potential in him. After burning out in 2017, he hit the reset button on life. Instead of buying that Camaro, he leaned into coaching and sports psychology, even being mentored by Russell Wilson's own mental performance coach. Now, Gary runs Elite Mindset Nation, helping athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders bridge the gap between coping and thriving by building what he calls whole life excellence. In our conversation, I had three major takeaways. And the first thing that I want you guys to remember from our conversation was that hesitation has a cost. Powerful stuff there. In sports and in life, hesitation is expensive. So true. Athletes miss plays when they second guess themselves. Entrepreneurs miss opportunities when they wait too long to decide. Gary's reminder was clear. Indecision is still a decision, and it usually costs you more than choosing and course correcting. So think about that, guys. Where in your life are you hesitating right now? And what opportunity is in that hesitation costing you? Think about that. And the second takeaway that I had with my conversation was confidence comes from preparation and proof. Gary broke it down. He said, there are only two real ways to build confidence. You prepare, and then you prove it to yourself. Preparation builds competence, and proving it through action builds belief. That's how optimism gets created. Not through empty positivity, but by giving yourself real reasons to trust your abilities. So, thinking back on yourself now, what's one area where you could prepare a little bit more? And one area where you need to stop preparing and finally prove it through action? This makes me think of when I was transitioning out of strength and conditioning, and I wasn't quite sure exactly what I wanted to be doing. I knew I was wanting to help people get better, like personal development, high performance. So what I did was I just started consuming so much content. I was listening to book after book after book, sometimes repeating the book like 4 or 5 times. I signed up for multiple coaching courses. I'm learning as many different ways to create a coaching program. And I was paying all this money to go see speakers and conferences and things, and just consuming all the podcasts and pretty much everything. If it wasn't benefiting me or teaching me something, then I wasn't consuming it. But that's also slowed me down because I couldn't make a decision on what I actually wanted to do and what I wanted to be creating. Instead, I just kept consuming. And through that inaction, it took me so much longer to finally create Prime Performance Coaching and really get aligned with what I want to do. So again, question for you is, what's one area where you could prepare a little bit more, or one area where you need to stop preparing and finally prove it through action? And the final takeaway from my conversation with Gary was, whole life excellence is the goal. Too many people settle for just coping. Gary's mental health bridge framework shows the 4 stages, going from crisis to coping to thriving to finally transcendence. Most people stop at coping. But what if we aimed for thriving? What if we built lives where mindset, leadership, relationships, and purpose all worked together? And thinking about this, where are you currently? Which pillar are you living in right now? Crisis? Coping? Thriving? Or are you all the way over in transcendence? And what would it take to move just one step further? Finally, what really struck me most with Gary's Gary's honesty, especially around his own growth. He admitted he used to be so agreeable. He didn't even know who he was. To fix it, he did something crazy. He forced himself to start making decisions, even ones that really upset other people. And that experiment that he went through, it really taught him a lot. It taught him the power of decisiveness. And it reminded me of my own shift into speaking. Early on, I treated nerves as a problem until I realized that they were the same sensation as excitement. That reframe let me lean in, really trust myself, and move forward without hesitation. It's exactly what Gary's teaching. So if you're listening and you've been stuck in indecision, take this with you. Confidence isn't about never feeling doubt. It's about preparing, proving it, and moving forward anyway. Also, make sure you connect with Gary on Instagram over at Elite Mindset, or you can check out his website, elitemindsetnation.com, to dig deeper into his playbook for the mind and his game plan for life. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about thriving in one area. It's about pursuing whole life excellence. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace, peace, peace. And that's it for this episode of Surviving the Side Hustle. If you found this valuable, the best way to support the show is to rate and review on Apple or Spotify. It helps get the show in front of more driven individuals just like you, and helps them discover the tools to get unstuck, break through burnout, and build something real. And you can always connect deeper with me, our guests, or grab free resources at survivingthesidehustle.com/Rob. Whether it's a strategy call, the Prime Performance Personality Quiz, some of our products, or just to check out our free content library, connect with us over at survivingthesidehustle.com/Rob. And hey, remember this, you weren't meant to just grind. You were built to grow. So stay conscious, stay committed, and keep showing up. Peace, guys.